Did you know that in 2019 Hildryn was the first implementation of shield gating in the game, and one of the few frames able to armor as well as shield strip enemies? In fact, Pillage, or Helminth Ability, is still considered as one of the strongest subsumes these days. This Warframe was clearly advanced for its time, and today with Hildryn Prime release we are forced to revisit our two most powerful builds. She has it all, and for everyone. If you play Hildryn, you are going to benefit from her passive, giving her a 3 seconds shield gate. You can use her Exalted weapon to AoE clear crowds of enemies. Your squad is gonna benefit from an AoE armor and shield strip. She provides increased shield and shield recharge rate for everyone, as well as sharing her enhanced shield gate, and AoE stun entire rooms of enemies while dropping energy orbs from them. Hildryn has no energy capacity and will use her shields to cast abilities. Efficiency is not that important, as we should always have a ton of shields casting Pillage. To fully strip enemies you need 400% strength. Range will benefit all 4 of her abilities, and duration will help for efficiency and further increase the range of Pillage. Pillage is clearly her strongest ability and is most likely the one we are going to work our builds around. As Helminth subsume abilities, we have 2 really strong choices for Hildryn matching Pillage requirements. Gloom is my favorite option. It will benefit from our modded range. Duration is gonna further scale its AoE radius, same as Pillage, and it requires 272% ability strength to fully slow enemies. But you can also use Cold to reflect enemy damage, or Electricity to increase your shield capacity, Elemental Ward. My first build is going to ignore her Exalted weapon and is the most balanced build, usable anywhere and with anyone. We are going to subsume Gloom or Elemental Ward instead of Balefire. We want Blazing Pillage. Enemies you hit with Pillage while they are affected by Haven will suffer from hit procs and restore additional shields. We want more than 200% strength to armor strip enemies in 2 casts, and more than 272% strength to get to slow cap on Gloom, so I decided to build for high strength, modding Growing Power, Blind Rage, Umbral Intensify, and Arcane Molt Augmented. Stretch and Prime Continuity are gonna benefit all 4 of our abilities and give us excellent quality of life. Defense on Hildryn is also her efficiency, so in my opinion, Redirection, Adaptation and Arcane Barrier are mandatory. If you don't have Arcane Barrier, you can go for Arcane Aegis. My Exodus of choice is Prime Shuffled, as I like using AoE weapons. And finally, as a last mod, you can go for Rolling Ward, Vigor, Prime Vigor, Boral Hatred, or any mod of your choice, as it is the flex slot. I personally like Transient Fortitude and so can replace Arcane Molt Augmented for an Arcane matching my weapon of choice. The second build is gonna all in on her Exalted weapon, and if like me you like to run the combination of Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger for Exalted weapons, I recommend using 1 health regeneration as your Archon Shard to be able to mod a higher rank Combat Discipline to match the mod capacity required. Balefire damage is scaling from strength, so I modded Blind Rage, Umbral Intensify and Transient Fortitude. As well as strength, we want to scale the AoE blast radius of our Exalted weapon, so I modded Stretch and Overextended. As I said in the previous build, Redirection, Adaptation and Arcane Barrier are extremely good for Hildryn defenses and efficiency. The only 2 abilities we use for this build are Balefire and Pillage, so duration is not needed. I then opted for even more efficiency, modding Fleeting Expertise. Seeing our stat distribution, I decided to subsume Empower to further increase the damage of our Balefire. Finally, Hildryn's Exalted weapon does an AoE blast, so Prime Shuffled is appreciated. For my Balefire, I modded the multi-shot mods Galvanized Diffusion and Lethal Torrent. You want to mod for Corrosive Hit or Viral Hit, depending on if you armor strip or not. Finally, we are scaling its damage, modding Honest Strike, Magnum Force, and the XP matching the faction we fight against. Subscribe.